You think he was a good guy?
I think he was.
Even though even though he says things that are anti-women, black, all that?
I can't judge him for that.
You can't?
I can't judge him for that. But I can use judgment. He didn't deserve that.
Right.
Yeah.
As a human being.
Yeah.
You are very spiritual.
You know, yeah.
I
can't go left. I can't go left with that.
Good for that woman. Good for that woman for having the courage to defend Charlie Kirk in front of someone who was clearly trying to entice her to be negative, who was trying to entice her to lie about him. My inside sources, they were bombarded with messages last night demanding that Don Lemon be fired by CNN. Now, of course, Don Lemon was fired by CNN over 2.5 years ago, but both Donnie and CNN are so irrelevant. People did not realize that CNN was no longer donating woke welfare to Donnie and his magical lemons. You know, in the book of Proverbs, it says that the proud speech of a fool brings a rod to his back. Over the last 5 or so years, I think we can all agree that fools have been talking. Hell, the fools have been speaking evil incessantly without the consequences of the proverbial rod. For 5 years, deacons at Woke United Methodist have hidden behind the tolerance of freedom of speech. But since last Wednesday, the deacons have been learning the harsh lesson that freedom of speech does not guarantee freedom from consequences. In the early 1900s, there were several incidents that caused unnecessary panic. 1911, at the Canonsburg Opera House in Pennsylvania, 26 people died because some asshole claimed that there was a fire in the theater. I don't know this for a fact, but if I had to guess, the doofus who started this, the doofus who yelled fire, he was probably a radical leftist. During the day, I'm sure he was preaching the good word, spreading the woke faith. At night, he was probably causing chaos and anarchy. 1913, at the Italian Hall in Michigan, 73 people lost their lives in a mass panic when another doofus claimed that there was a fire in the theater. Several years later, a man named Charles Schenck was on trial in federal court. He was charged with violating the Espionage Act because he was opposed to the military draft during World War I. The judge assigned to the case was Oliver Wendell Holmes. Judge Holmes, he ruled that Charles Schenck violated the Espionage Act by distributing flyers opposing the draft during the war. Charles Schenck could not hide behind the First Amendment because his speech represented a clear and present danger to the best interest of the United States. During his ruling, Judge Holmes claimed that the First Amendment does not protect you from using dangerous speech. He provided an example of dangerous speech by claiming that you cannot yell fire in a crowded theater if there is no fire. The point is, your freedom of speech does not give you freedom from consequences. Now, me personally, I think it is a very slippery slope when the federal government gets involved in regulating speech. However, I am all about the free market deciding what's acceptable and what is absolutely unacceptable, which is exactly what's happening right now in the wake of Charlie Kirk's death. I keep seeing people saying evil is being exposed. The truth is, evil has been exposed. Evil was exposed in the summer of 2020 when there were hundreds of riots. Evil was exposed when deacons at Woke United Methodist were trying to confuse children on something as simple as the basics of gender. The only difference now is evil is finally being held accountable. Make sure to like and subscribe. You can follow me on Twitter at KC_BTL84. So I can get to the sponsor for today's video, my good friends at Sugar Mountain Trading. Are you struggling with back problems? Do you deal with minor aches and pains throughout your day? And you don't want to go to the doctor because all the doctor's going to do is find something else wrong with you. Even worse, prescribe addictive medication that you don't want to take. I hate going to the doctor. So does my wife, who actually deals with back pain. That's why she has been using CBD lotions and oils from Sugar Mountain Trading. Now, this is not THC. It's not going to make you fail a drug test. These CBD lotions and oils, they are specifically designed for rapid pain relief. Like I said, my wife deals with nagging back pain from time to time. Tried the chiropractor, over-the-counter stuff, but none of that ever seemed to work. Within 5 minutes of me applying CBD lotion from Sugar Mountain Trading, her pain is gone. I'm telling you, it's damn near magical. I just used the red bottle on her this past Sunday. Sugar Mountain Trading also offers CBD bar soap that will keep you pain-free and smelling fresh at the same time. Bar soap comes in a variety of scents ranging from lavender all the way to cherry almond. All CBD products offered at Sugar Mountain Trading, 100% natural, 100% free of THC. So click the link in the description below. Use my promo code BTL20. Save 20% off your first purchase with Sugar Mountain Trading. Over the weekend, students at Texas Tech organized a vigil to honor Charlie Kirk. Like every other vigil or memorial that was held, and when I say every other, I mean every other. Whether it was in England, Phoenix, Yankee Stadium, NFL stadiums across the country, the People's Republic of California, every event that has been organized to honor the life of Charlie Kirk, it has been 100% peaceful. This past weekend at Texas Tech, it was no different. However, there was a disruptor in the crowd. There was a young lady who clearly has way too much time on her hands. There was a young lady who is clearly leading a miserable life and who is, without a doubt, 100% infected with the woke fungus. This young lady took time out of her miserable day to spread her misery to others. That's what the woke fungus does. It seeks and destroys. It is designed to spread misery from host to host, which is how the fungus spreads. Watch for yourself.
Your homie dead. Your homie dead. He got shot in the head. Fuck your homie dead. Yeah, fuck your homie dead.
Evil is real, people, and it kind of looks like that.
Yeah.
Evil. Evil. Murder is bad. She is evil.
Why are you so hateful? Why are you so hateful? Yeah.
Hey, can somebody tell her to back up?
Can you
please?
not put the camera in my face?
I'm sitting here. You walked up to me.
Okay, well, I
don't want this. I said rest in peace.
And I can
Just leave it alone. Please don't come after
Ma'am,
me.
you've been
I want to be left alone.
I'm not emotional, ma'am. Don't tell me what I am and what I'm not. You can get out of my face because I can tell you what you are, but you won't like it.
Unfortunately for this young lady, she was not dancing around for very long, or as the deacons prefer to call it, twerking. Several minutes after her failed audition for Dancing with the Stars, she was arrested and taken to jail. But Casey, that's not enough. She will be released and continue to spread her hatred and misery. Yeah, that's what administrators at Texas Tech thought too. I can tell you with 100% certainty, she will not be spreading the woke fungus at Texas Tech anymore because they announced yesterday that she was expelled. She was kicked off campus. Just think about that for a second. Texas Tech found her behavior so reprehensible. Let me correct that. Texas Tech knew the backlash from normal people would be so severe if they refused to take action, so they told this young woman, "We no longer want your money." She is not the only one that is learning the harsh lesson that freedom of speech does not mean freedom from consequences. Check out just a few of the hundreds, maybe even thousands of people who have lost their jobs for celebrating the demise of Charlie Kirk. Credit to the New York Post for compiling this list into one place. Several American Airlines pilots were immediately grounded while flying the plane and relieved of their duties. The assistant dean of students at Middle Tennessee State University, fired. A public school teacher in South Carolina, fired. Clemson suspended an employee who celebrated Charlie Kirk's death, and I want to say they reported yesterday, maybe it was last night, that the employee had now been fired. The University of Miami fired a healthcare worker over what they called unacceptable public commentary. Same with the Children's Healthcare of Atlanta. NASDAQ fired someone who violated their policy on commentary that condones or celebrates violence. The Carolina Panthers in the supposedly woke NFL. The Panthers fired a public relations staffer. DC Comics canceled an entire series of comic books after the author posted and deleted comments about Charlie Kirk. Freddy's, which is a fast food chain, one of their employees allegedly asked for donations to the Satanic Temple. He's going to need donations from GoFundMe now because his ass no longer has a job. These are just a few examples of how you are holding people accountable. This movement of accountability, it's not being driven by the media. Matter of fact, the mainstream media is on life support. They are struggling to survive. The mainstream media no longer has influence, which means deacons at Woke United Methodist no longer have influence. Do not think for a second that these companies and universities are firing these people based on nobility. Should they be given credit for doing the right thing? Sure. But if this was about doing the right thing, if this was about doing what's right, a lot of these people would have been fired years ago. The reason these companies and universities are taking action now is because normal people are applying pressure. Normal people have finally realized they have all the power. Normal people have finally said enough is enough. There is no more tolerance. There is no more compassion for evil. Yesterday, J.D. Vance sat in Charlie Kirk's chair and hosted his show. During the show, J.D. Vance said there can be no unity with Americans who celebrate Charlie Kirk's demise. Now, I don't agree with Bill Maher politically, but Bill Maher is one of us. I don't agree with Chris Cuomo. Hey, it's me, Chrissy C. But Chris Cuomo is one of us. Sometimes I agree with Stephen A. Smith, sometimes I don't. But Stephen A. is one of us. I can be unified with them, but there is no unification with evil. There is no unification with the woke professor who is spreading lies about Charlie Kirk. There is no unification with Jasmine Crockett's pastor who is suddenly taking medical leave after his sermon about Charlie Kirk was leaked on Twitter. One of the reasons that you're seeing evil lashing out like this, one of the reasons you're seeing memorials being desecrated, this is what evil does when it knows it's being defeated. This is what evil does when it knows it's losing control. Sound off in the comments below. I'll see you guys later.